And welcome to Marketplace Live here on the Joy News channel. Now coming up, Eurobond Debt Exchange Programme secures more than 90% participation, a move expected to aid Ghana past the third review of the IMF. And Ghana Manganese Company Limited announces plans to construct an ultra-modern manganese refinery at Insuta in the western region.
And our feasibility studies to the government once everything is approved, as mentioned over this month, getting to the early next month, the government is coming here to cut the sod, and then we'll start the processes.
Also coming up, the Ghana Revenue Authority collaborates with the armed forces to establish a marine unit for the customs division.
We have seen, CDS, at first hand how our partnership has contributed to national security and economic growth. The armed forces have supported us, GRA, in several ways.
These and more coming up shortly, and I'll bring you the latest update on the currency market. Now, welcome back. Now to our first business story. The Eurobond Debt Exchange Programme has secured more than 90% participation from investors. This is what Joy Business has picked up from persons familiar with the offer. George Biafe has the rest of the story.
Joy Business understands that participation has been pegged at 98.6%. This represents the total number of investors that came forward to exchange their old bonds for the new papers. There were two options on the table that interested investors that subscribe. That is the PAR and the DISCO option. Now, based on the decision to subscribe to this offer, some of these investors have lost more than $4 billion that Ghana owed them. Government was looking at securing about 65% participation to describe the offer as successful. However, it is not clear for now whether this level of participation would mean that the whole Eurobond debt restructuring program can be described as successful. Government is looking at restructuring some $13 billion of debt owed these investors. The development could fast-track the process of restructuring debt owed Ghana's external creditors. This is seen by some as critical ingredient in passing the third IMF program review and even making some significant progress when it comes to reducing Ghana's debts to sustainable levels by 2028.
Now, joining me on Zoom is Professor William Sprepa, Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University in the U.S. Good afternoon. Welcome to Marketplace. Now, Prof, what do you make of this outcome? Does it point to a successful debt exchange program?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your viewers. If we look at it from the perspective of the Eurobond debt holders, we may say that, we have done very well to be able to achieve this over 90% haircut in terms of the debts we owe these external bondholders. We know that these investors really understand the issue of financing, and also they know the risks involved when you invest in a country's bond. What was not very clear was that whether the treatment, they were going to get equity in terms of how we treat our local bonds against the foreign bonds, and I'm sure they've seen that kind of equity being exhibited. And then also, at the moment, most international investors need cash. So if the options placed on the table help them to be able to get payment earlier than expected, they will opt for the haircut, and that is what they have done. We have delayed or we've stopped payment, which is almost a year and a half, and it's affecting their portfolios. So it's significant that we've gotten to this far, and what they would expect is that Ghana government when they agree on these terms, will be able to pay the bonds or coupons when they are due.
Prof, how helpful would you say this news is critical to ensuring we have a successful third IMF review?
So if you look at the real plan, this should have happened before the second review. So it coming at this time will enhance Ghana passing the third review, getting more than 80% of the pass mark for the third review. And then this will end the entire debt exchange exercise being done by Ghana. So it is very, very important that we get this concluded, and then before IMF issue their review report on the third aspect, on the third leg, they will state that Ghana has fulfilled the completion of the entire debt exchange program. But just let us note that we did not achieve what we set to do to bring our debt to GDP to that 65% that IMF wanted us to get.
Prof, what signal does this send to the market, basically?
Well, the signal it sends to the market, the international market, is that there seems to be an agreement between the external bondholders and Ghana government, and Ghana government stands readiness to make payment. They are also watching our balance of payment, whether we have been able to have some foreign currency reserve, which will help Ghana to make the payment when they are due. And the information we are also hearing, or the figures we are seeing from the central bank or Bank of Ghana, is that we have enough dollars kept from the time that we defaulted in making the payment. So when they agree on the terms, Ghana will be able to have the foreign currency to make payments.
Rob, we saw inflation coming down gradually. Nonetheless, just yesterday we received an announcement from the Ghana Statistical Service of an increase in trend. What do you make of the change in direction?
So, if you've studied the Ghana inflation trend analysis, you notice that in the month of September, our inflation normally moves up a little bit. And sometime in the month of September, it moves out a little bit, and sometime in November, coming to December, you see it coming down. So that is what has happened. That anticipation, where we've ended the rainy season, so food becomes a major concern. And if you listen to the statistician, he mentioned that the cause of this is the food inflation. And this has been the trend. And so I'm not too much surprised. However, my concern is the rate of increase. If the rate of increase becomes so rapid, then we may have an issue. But if you look at it, the rate of increase was minimal. It wasn't rapid as it happened last year. It was very minimal.
With less than 3 months to close the year, is it possible for government to achieve its end-year inflation target of 15%?
That is almost 6% cut in inflation or reduction in inflation. I see that it will be very difficult for us to achieve. If you ask me, we may do about 18%, which may be within plus 3 or 2% of the set targets. And if you look at where we have come from an inflation rate of 54 last year, if we are able to end around 18%, it means that we have done well to slow down the pace or the rate of inflation. It did not move in that speed that has happened last year. However, the economists we need to still work on a lot of things in the economy to slow down the growth in the economy. Specifically, there are a lot of money in circulation, and which must be a major concern. One of the issues is that government is going to pay about 1.5 billion to people that had their money held up in the closure of some financial institutions, and this is also going to bring a lot of money in circulation, and this may lead to a little bit of inflation. So that is what we must watch. Let's see how government gold coin and Ghana gold coin investment option brings. Whether people will be interested in investing in that one, then it will help to slow down the consumption pattern, which leads to more money chasing fewer goods in the country, which is leading to inflation.
Professor Pripa, we sincerely appreciate your time here on Marketplace. We're surely following up update there from a lot of discussions, basically from inflation and also assessing the impact of what has been happening on the Eurobond announcement. Now, to some more updates, the Ghana Manganese Company Limited has begun conversations with government and partners to construct an ultra-modern manganese refinery at Nsuta in the western region. The project, which is expected to cost about $450 million, will be a game changer for the company as it hopes to employ more than 1,000 personnel when completed. General Manager of GMC, Joseph Ampom, mentioned this in an engagement with members of the Journalists for Business Advocacy during a visit to the company at Nsuta in the western region. Here's a report.
The project, which is expected to cost about $450 million, will add some value to the ore produced at the Ghana Manganese Company before being exported, as well as creating jobs for more people in the area. The GMC also hopes to increase its production to about 5 million tons per year when the project comes alive fully, taking some members of the Ghana Chamber of Mines and the Journalists for Business Advocacy on a tour of the mine. General Manager Joseph Ampon disclosed that the feasibility studies has been approved and government is expected to cut salt for the project before the end of the year.
Once we put it there, we add value. So if you put in 26.5%, now we get taking out about 50%, and then that one is reachable one that we can get more money for it.
When is the refinery coming into play?
We've started the work on it already. Right. Now we've sent our feasibility studies to the government. Once everything is approved, as mentioned over this month, getting to the early next month, the government is coming here to cut the sod, and then we'll start the processes.
Besides the plan to construct the ultra-modern refinery, the company is also in talks with the Ghana Gas Company to get direct supply of gas for its thermal plant to feed the factory. Chief Sustainability Officer Benjamin Kwashi explains.
Currently, the refinery cannot use the power generated by ECG. So the plan is to go thermal. So to go thermal, we're going to have our own plant here, thermal plant, and it's going to be gas. So we are expecting to get gas from Atwabo, to actually fuel the plant.
The GMC, as part of moves to increase export, is also collaborating with the Ghana Railway Company to reopen the railway line from the mines to the Takoradi port directly.
We have from here to Takoradi, if you go by rail, it's 63 kilometers. If you go by road, it's about 95 or 96 kilometers. So shorter distances, you can easily transport more material to the port. So railway not there is affecting Ghana Manganese so much.
So what is your intervention to this problem?
I think the board and then the Ghana government is working around it to make sure we get it running. So we are working towards it.
Eben Sabute's report for Joy Business.
Now, moving on, the Ghana Revenue Authority is collaborating with the armed forces to establish a marine unit for the Customs Division. This move is expected to support the fight smuggling in the country's water bodies. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, believes this will strengthen security at the various border posts. She made a disclosure when the Chief of Defense Staff paid a courtesy call to the headquarters of the GRA in Accra.
It's by the Chief of Defense Staff and the team from the Ghana Armed Forces was historic, as both agencies played different roles in ensuring the country's safety. Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Julie Esiam, welcomed the team led by the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Thomas Opompepra, noting their successful collaborations in fighting crime and blocking revenue leakages. She expressed hopes for continuing such initiatives, which have greatly contributed to economic growth.
And the partnership between the Ghana Armed Forces and the authority is a perfect example how joint efforts can yield positive results. So again, we are grateful. From securing our borders against illegal trade and smuggling to supporting one another in times of national emergency, we are hoping that the election will not become a national emergency, but these are some of the areas that we collaborate. We have seen, CDS, at first hand how our partnership has contributed to national security and economic growth. The armed forces has supported us, GRA, in so many several ways over the years to mobilize revenue for national development. Currently, the authority is collaborating with yourselves, the Ghana Armed Forces, to establish a customs marine unit, as well as developing strategic partnerships to fight smuggling that we continue to see across our borders. I must say, these collaborations are working so well.
Commissioner of Customs, Brigadier General Zeblim Ayorogo, explained the concept of the new Customs Marine Unit.
We have an organogram. We are looking at this based on the naval concept, the eastern part and the western part, and the inland waters. So that will come out with the boat. Indeed, CG is working on this, so we'll just have the tools. And when the document comes, Navy will be training us for some time until we find our feet very well, then they will draw. So the concept paper is being done.
Both teams agreed to deepen partnerships to enhance revenue mobilization in the country.
Now, researchers at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research have developed a new cowpea variety known as pod borer-resistant cowpea. The new variety is expected to help farmers reduce losses incurred during cultivation of the crop and boost the availability of cowpea locally, thereby reducing imports. The group, together with the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, held a sensitization workshop for farmers in the Kintampo district of the Bono East region. Anas Sabit has more in this report.
Cowpea production rates across the country have declined over the past 10 years, mainly due to pest infestations. As a result, many cowpea farmers have decided to venture into other crops to enable them stay in business. Dauda Mohammed is the presiding member for Kintampo North Municipal Assembly and a former cowpea farmer. He shares why he chose to stay away from cowpea production.
I, for instance, am a very serious farmer. I farm beans, I farm maize, I farm cassava. But the crop I used to farm most was peas. But because of insects, I have been discouraged from farming beans. And this area, if you interact with any farmer, the farmer will tell you that cultivating beans is very difficult. And it is difficult because of the insect or the pests.
This decision by Dauda Mohammed and many farmers in the cowpea production contributed to the low production and hence the hike in the price of the commodity as beans sellers resort to the importation from neighboring countries.
In Ghana, the goods that we are selling here is not enough for us. So we used to import most of the goods outside both Nigeria, Niger, and Burkina Faso.
There is, however, a relief in sight as the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research is, through the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology, introducing a new cowpea variety that has the power to resist the pod borer pests, scientifically known as Maruca vitrata. Dr. Daniel Oseifusu is a research scientist from the Biotechnology Nuclear Agric Institute and the CSIR.
Cowpea farmers face a lot of challenges. When you plant your cowpea and it emerges, within the 8 weeks that it gets to maturity, you have to spray a minimum of 8 times. And this 8 times is to control all kinds of insect pests. The most devastating of them is the Maruca or the pod borer. And so we have developed this new variety called Songotra T. And it has been improved using genetic engineering. And that enables the plant on its own to fight the insect pest.
OFAB Ghana is today engaging cowpea farmers in the Bono East region to help sensitize them about the need to embrace the new BT cowpea seeds. Some of them shared with us how the new variety will help improve their yield. What we learned today has encouraged me to do more next year, because what used to destroy our farms are the insects, and now that we have this new intervention, we are going to do more in terms of cowpea production.
If you are looking to own a home or upgrade your home at a convenient and affordable price, look no further, because the much-awaited biggest housing fair, which is in the Ashanti region, Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair, is here. Hundreds of exhibitors will, from today to Sunday, October 6th, display various products and services you need to build and improve your home at excitingly discounted prices. Let's cross over to Kumasi City Mall, where preparations are done for the grand opening of this year's edition of the Habitat Fair. My colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku is there and has more. All right, so your update from Bright Kweku, where in Kumasi your update is coming, especially if you intend to have access to affordable price and discounted product if you want to refurbish your home. Now here's where we take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll join back from Kumasi. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Marketplace. My name is Winston Taki. As I said earlier, if you're a lover of home and also someone who likes to invest in making your home beautiful, some good news for you if you are in Kumasi or around Kumasi. Now we move straight to the Kumasi City Mall, where preparations are done for the grand opening of this year's edition of the Habitat Fair, where my colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku is standing by for update. Bright, briefly, tell us what's happening in Kumasi.
The Republic Bank Love FM Habitat Fair happening right here at the Kumasi City Mall. All the exhibitors are here, spanning from accessories, all the materials you need for building a home, even mortgage. Is where you need to be, the Kumasi City Mall. And I'll quickly interact with the communications manager for Republic Bank, and she will be telling us about why the need for mortgage. Leila, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
I want to find out what mortgage products are you bringing here?
Okay. I mean, Republic Bank, you know, we are the pay setters in mortgaging. We are the bank that gives you mortgage across board. So whether you're buying outright, which is the outright purchase, on home completion, you have reached rental level and you want to complete your building, we assist you with financing in that score as well. And Emmanuel, the interesting thing is that we have noticed how you need to have your salary and consistent payments, and how the SMEs have been excluded in the past when it comes to mortgaging. So what we are offering from now on, from this Habitat Fair moving forward, is SME products for mortgages. So what we are saying is that, yes, you have your own business, you are an entrepreneur, you may not have a regular, salary, pay slip, whatever, but you have a business, you are keeping good records, you have good accounts. We are offering you mortgages, because as the theme for this year is saying, home ownership is not just for staying in, it's also an investment. So as an entrepreneur, you are looking for opportunities to invest, and we are giving you that opportunity. So come to us, let's see what financials you have, and let's offer you a mortgage, even as an SME person, and not necessarily a formal sector worker. Yes, please.
So from today to the 6th of this month, make sure you pass through the Kumasi City Mall to enjoy an amazing discount. That'll be all time will permit us here on the Marketplace. My name is Winston Taki. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.